Okay, so we talked a little bit the other day about creating motivation, how to do that from scratch. Now, if you are on a roll and you do feel motivated, or maybe you started a new plan, we all know what that feels like when you start something new and you feel motivated and you feel driven. There are ways in which you can kill your motivation just like that. You can feel good one day and you can feel completely unmotivated the next. And sometimes that's out of your control. But it's just as important to control the things you can that will kill your motivation if you let them. So today I want to cover 3 of the biggest ones that will destroy your motivation very quickly and leave you close to falling off the bandwagon altogether. And I'm going to talk you through strategies of how you can fix each one, and then also how to mean that none of them ever affect you ever again. So this is potentially, again, a massively powerful training for you, massively powerful coaching, a few mindset shifts and a bit of awareness is what we're going to get off the back of this. So let's dive into it. So we talked about having motivation, the 3 things that are going to kill it quicker than anything. Number 1, sleep. If you're regularly sleeping less than 6 hours a night, then your motivation is going to be in the gutter regularly, okay? If you feel good on Monday, we've all felt that way. Monday you feel good, you have motivation, you have drive. That's why the attendance of the sessions on Monday is always the highest. It's because you feel motivated on Monday. You've had more rest on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You've cleared your mind, you've refreshed a little bit, you've had a little bit of a mind dump, you've slept a little bit more, your motivation is higher. As you go through the week and you sleep 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours, 5 hours, your motivation, energy starts to tick down. Remember, you cannot have motivation without any energy. If you'll never have energy, you will never have motivation. So protecting your energy, which is a big thing, okay? Protecting your energy is one of the most important things you can do to stay motivated. What gives you energy? Maybe that's having some quiet time, reading a book, but it starts at the foundation, which is sleep. You need to be aiming for 6 to 8 hours a night, and here's how you do it. A, you need to be ruthless with turning off the TV. B, you need to be more disciplined when it comes to switching off your phone. If you're on social media, which we're going to talk about later, past 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, or if you're browsing news or whatever into the night, you need to stop doing that, okay? You need to make sure you're getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. That's your foundation for motivation, honestly. If you're not doing that, you're not going to feel motivated on a regular basis, okay? Simple as that, you just have to accept it. I will tell you how to deal with that, because I know some of you, for example, have newborn babies, you have jobs that sometimes require you to do difficult hours. So I'm going to come to how you can conquer that, but if you have the ability, if you know you have the time, and if deep down you know you could do a bit better with your sleep, that's where the foundation of motivation starts, and that's how you will give it away quickest, by skimping on your sleep, okay? Number 2, boozing. If you're a heavy boozer on the weekend, we all know how that feels, okay? How do you feel after you go out for a big drinking session, you drink a lot at home, you get drunk, okay? How do you feel the next day? Unmotivated, definitely. A little bit anxious and shit in general. Tired, lazy, I just want to eat crap, give me some food, let me hit the sofa. It's just about as unmotivated as you could probably aim to feel. If you said to me, feel as unmotivated as you can, I'll get blind drunk and so I'll have a hangover the next day, and that would be my lowest day. So if you are feeling good, don't give it away by going out and doing something like that. And the way you deal with that is this. You need to find, and this is personal to everyone, so if you want to pause the video and do this yourself, just run through it in your mind, then that's all good. You need to find what the limit is of what you can drink and still stay in control of yourself and have a productive and good day, good couple of days the next day after. Because I've seen you and people in the wolf pack be on a great roll, doing 3 or 4 workouts a week, feeling good, making little wins in the gym, have one big bender of a weekend or a night out, and the whole next 2 or 3 weeks is gone. Okay, the whole next 2 or 3 weeks, their workouts drop down, their motivation drops down. I get texts from them saying they feel tired and they feel lazy. So you've got to realise the power that can have over you, okay? And you've got to find a limit for yourself. So if you're someone who can have 3 or 4 drinks, feel good, get the benefits out of that in terms of the enjoyment you get from drinking, because I get it as well, and we all like drinks, and still stay in control, wake up the next day with a clear mind and ready to have a productive day, be that with the family, kids, or exercise-wise, that's your limit, that's your line, okay? And you don't want to be crossing that on a regular basis. Of course there's big events and nights out, but I get that. And I have those as well, as you well know. But if you're doing that on a regular basis, you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot motivation-wise, and you could probably still, I'm sure you'd agree, have just as good a time and just drink a little bit less, okay? So it's not that alcohol and drinking, I'm banging on now about it being bad for you, but it's about what it does to your motivation and your momentum and your drive, okay? That's one of the biggest things that I don't drink that often, because I know it's going to scupper my next 2 or 3 days in terms of how I feel, my motivation, okay? So you've got to set your own personal limits there, and that is different for everyone, all right? If you know that if you have over 5 drinks, that, you know, we all feel it when you start to feel really drunk. You know you're going to eat shit, you're going to have a takeaway pizza, grab something shit on the way home from wherever you are, and the next day is going to be a write-off, and you're going to feel lazy and crap. You have to draw the line a little bit shorter than that if you want to feel motivated on a regular basis. You can't complain about not feeling motivated if you're giving in to these first 2, especially, okay? If you're scuppering, if you're falling down on sleep and you're not sleeping a regular 6 to 8, and you're drinking regularly and heavily, is it any wonder you don't feel great? Is it any wonder you don't feel high on energy or motivation? Remember, the 2 are linked. That's another thing, drains your energy. You know, when you have a hangover, feel crap, you drain your energy, it drains right out of you. When your energy's gone, as I just said to you, your motivation will be gone as well. Number 3, social media, okay? I don't want to lecture you on social media, but just be careful who you're following, and just be careful how much time you're sinking into it, okay? If you're spending an hour or 2 constantly scrolling through your phone, that's not serving you in terms of motivation. And oftentimes, because of the people you're looking at, you know, it might be people involved in the fitness industry who look fantastic year round, or so their profile would have you believe. You know, they're doing this, they're doing that. That doesn't help your motivation. In fact, it kills it, okay? So be very wary of who you're following, who you're listening to, whose content you're going into. If they're not making you feel motivated or feel better or giving you a laugh or whatever it is, don't follow them. They're not serving you, they're not helping you to improve, and not helping you to have a better life, so don't follow them. Be careful, okay? Because 2 or 3 years ago this wouldn't have been a thing, but the amount of time people are now spending on their phones, and I'm guilty as well, you've got to be vetting where you're soaking that in. What goes into here is just as important as what goes into here, okay? We talk about diet, what you eat is so important, you are what you eat. You are what you see, you are what you watch, you are what you absorb in terms of content from other people. If you're constantly looking at fitness people who are in fantastic shape, you're going to feel inferior. You're going to feel like you're coming up short. And what you have to remember, and I don't mind saying this on a members only training, is a lot of those people, A, their life revolves around their body, they make money off it. B, they're probably using performance enhancing drugs of some description. Okay, if they're involved in the fitness industry and they make money off their body. Same thing with actors. Oh, how did he get in this shape? Well, he had devoted his life to it, and also he was probably on some drugs. Okay, I don't mind saying that, it's just the truth, guys. And I've been in the industry 10, 15, I've been working out 15 years, whatever. I know the deal, I know how it is, and don't let that, your own goals and visions and what you want to achieve out of the gym is completely different to everyone else's, and you have to have your own set of vision, standards, your own set of non-negotiables, which we're going to come on to in a second. So that's a quick outline of those 3. Now, how do you deal with this? Well, it's very simple. What you have to make for yourself is a list of 2 or 3 NNs, and NN stands for non-negotiables. So these are things that within your week, you have as your standards, you write them down, wherever it is, or you just have them in your mind. These are non-negotiable tasks which you do every single week, every single day, every single month, whatever it is. So, as I'm talking to you and I know you want to get in better shape and feel better about your body, then 2 or 3 workouts. So what that means is, even on my worst week, even if I'm not getting enough sleep, even if I did have a heavy night with my friends, even if I did spend a little bit of time on social media and I wasn't feeling motivated, if these 3 things had culminated amongst other things to destroy my motivation, then I still do my 2 or 3 workouts, because that's non-negotiable. That's not up for debate, and motivation doesn't have an effect. I'm focused on these, which are my processes and my actions, not on my motivation. Because you'll find very often you expect, or what you expect is motivation at the top here, then action, then results, then more motivation. So you're expecting to feel motivated, you're waiting for that, okay, I feel motivated, now I can do something, then I can get some results, and that will lead to more motivation. Wrong, completely wrong. First must come action. Despite motivation, that comes from having non-negotiables, you need to set them. Then comes motivation, because when you move, you'll feel more motivated because of feel-good hormones and because of the way, just the effect that has on the body. When you work out, you move, you feel good. You can't tell me you don't feel good leaving the gym or doing a workout. You feel good after you've done it. Then you get results. Then you feel more motivated and you take more action, and that's how the cycle goes. Not waiting to feel motivated, okay? You must set your non-negotiables and be willing to do them despite of how you feel. This is something I see a lot of you watching this come up short on, okay? You don't have non-negotiables. If you get too tired or you have a heavy night, you don't do anything, you forget about, you stop taking action on what you want to get. Okay, and then a couple of weeks later you might pick that up, back up and go to the start of the cycle. So that's a massive thing. Other things might be, okay, I'm going to have a shake every day. I'm going to have a protein shake every day, even if I'm out with work, even if I'm this, even if I've been drinking the night before and I don't feel like it, I'm going to have a protein shake every day. That's, again, a very simple one. What about steps? I'm going to do 10,000 steps every day. If you're watching this and you're someone at Wolf who's trying to lose weight, a significant amount of it, what if you just did 2 or 3 workouts a week, had a shake every day and did 10,000 steps a day? You'd probably get pretty close to your goals. You'd probably be moving forward all the time, despite all these and despite maybe not having motivation. So that's a very quick training for you there. A very brief outline of 3 of the biggest culprits I see that will stop your momentum, stop your motivation, and stop you having that feeling. And motivation is just a feeling at the end of the day. It's not an actual thing that's measurable by any quantifiable thing that we have. You know, it's just the way you feel. And it's also a very important lesson about the fact that action always comes before motivation and results. Okay, you'll only get motivation if you take action first. And that's why off the back of this you must sit down now with your notes or your pen and paper or just a note on your phone and write down your non-negotiables. What's non-negotiable for you? This is why so often on calls I ask you, what are you going to do this week? What's your 2 or 3 big things this week that you've got to get done? They've got to be your non-negotiables, and all you need to work on after that is making them as non-negotiable as possible, so they really do happen no matter what. And the more weeks they do happen, the more that'll be a part of your life. And once you've got non-negotiables that always happen, and they're truly not up for debate, no matter what, you'll be unstoppable, because you'll then have a habit built in for the rest of your life where, well, keep you fit, keep you healthy, keep you strong, keep your immune system strong, and let you change your goal and adapt to whatever you want it to be.